How's it going, everybody? I wanted to do a bit of a Jedi Fallen Order news roundup. There have been many articles come out since E3 where they have interviewed the developers and stuff, and there's actually been quite a lot of information come out since E3 about this game. They've made some improvements to the game, they've listened to feedback, and it actually sounds like this is going to be a pretty cool game. And I'm impressed with the amount of feedback that they've taken from E3, from that demo. Yeah, let's just go over some of the tidbits that I thought were the most interesting out of the interview. So, for starters, they are changing the lightsaber. There was a lot of people complaining about the way that the lightsaber looked. It just was completely solid blue, which made a lot of people angry. And now that people pointed it out, it does look a little dumb. I mean, it's just solid blue. It didn't have that white in the middle. So they have listened to that feedback and they have changed it. So now it has the white in the middle of the saber and the blue on the outside. And then they changed the tip of it and they made it a little bit more pointed, like in the Clone Wars show and like they did with the recent Battlefront 2 update. The pointed part, I don't really care much about. It doesn't really bother me that much, but I personally like the rounded versions because that's what was in the movies. So I don't understand why so many people like the pointed tips from the Clone Wars show when the movies are, in my opinion, more canon than what the TV show is. I mean, there's way more people that have seen the movies than the show, but regardless, they have made that change. And then here is a clip from the interview where the developer sort of gives his opinion and just talks about the lightsaber changes.
I think we went to E3 without. We made a mistake on that one, and since then we fixed it.
Okay.
Cool.
That was very fair feedback, fair criticism, and we've tweaked that. We've also tweaked the shape of the lightsaber blade a little bit as well too, and you can see the difference right away.
So moving forward from the Game Informer article, I'm going to take out the snippets that I thought were the most interesting. I will link the article down below if you guys want to read the whole thing yourselves. But for starters, Respawn is looking into photo mode, and it should make it into the game, but New Game Plus is looking unlikely. Basically, the reason that they gave was that if there's a New Game Plus mode, where you would just start the game over with all your abilities and stuff and all your upgrades, they'd just be afraid that the game would be way too easy and you would just blow through everything. So there's not going to be a New Game Plus mode. And if you don't know what a New Game Plus mode is, it would just be where you start the entire game from the beginning, but you keep all your gear and your upgrades. So not looking very likely. So if you want to play the game again, you're just going to have to start a new game. And then moving forward, there will be difficulty settings. Game Informer asked if it would be based on like the Star Wars names like Padawan, Jedi, etc. And they don't have names for the difficulties yet, but I would imagine it would be like every other Star Wars game where it's probably like Padawan or Jedi Master or whatever. So no surprise there. But then I found this part interesting about the mini map. The map is an in-world hologram, so like when you try to bring up the map, it doesn't pause the game. So if you're looking at your map in the middle of a gunfight, then the enemies will keep attacking you because you're sitting there looking at your map. I mean, they're not going to stop fighting just because you're looking at your map, so I think that's pretty cool. And then moving on to the lightsaber dismemberment. I know this is a huge topic. I definitely wanted lightsaber dismemberment. There's a lot of people that defend it. It's been in previous games and it didn't change the rating. A lot of people say it's not true Star Wars because of dismemberment, when anytime there is lightsaber combat in the movies and a lightsaber makes contact with someone's skin, they lose a limb. Unless you're counting Disney's Star Wars, where in Episode 7, Finn got hit in the back and it was fine, Kylo got hit in the face and was fine, but in A New Hope, Obi-Wan cut off a dude's arm. There was blood. Jango Fett lost a head. Anakin lost multiple limbs. Luke lost a hand. So, I mean, it doesn't need to be bloody and gory, but I think there should be dismemberment personally. But when they asked him about it, he said, obviously we don't want the game to be mature rated, so there might be some of that, but it would not be on human characters. We're still working that out. Creatures and robots will definitely respond to the lightsaber's cutting ability, and human enemies take accurate visible damage on their armor based on the player's attacks. But hyper-violent destruction with various bloodied body parts constantly flying through the air won't be in the game. It wouldn't be true to Star Wars. See, that's the part that I don't get. Like, when you cut someone's arm off, it can just seal the wound. Like Darth Maul. Darth Maul's another example. There's plenty of examples of people losing limbs when they get hit with a lightsaber. That's because it's a freaking lightsaber. I don't understand why we draw the line at, like, creatures. It's okay if you cut an innocent animal, innocent creature's freaking legs off. That's fine. You cut a droid in half? It's just a robot. Who cares? That's funny. You cut a freaking stormtrooper's arm off? Oh no, we don't want our children to see that. Heaven forbid. So I think that's dumb, but oh well. And then moving forward, the very first force power that you get is Force Slow. It lets you slow down enemies and elements of the environment, so it'll help you with puzzles and different stuff. And then you will start the game off with 2 health canisters, but you will be able to find more throughout your playthrough, so there's that. Another cool fact is that you can sheathe and unsheathe your lightsaber using left on the D-pad. They said it's a cool looking animation, and then when you unsheathe your lightsaber, you can use it as a flashlight as shown in the gameplay at E3. So I think that's pretty cool that you can, like, light up caves and stuff with your lightsaber. Then for number 8, we have BD1's lights will change colors and pulsate to alert you of certain things. Like when he's feeling good about things and he's happy, he will be green, and then he'll also have some sort of indicator of danger for you, or when your health is low, he will turn red to show that he's unhappy because you're about to die. Then for point number 9, we have Respawn's goal is to include no loading screens and everything will be seamless, even moving planet to planet and cutscene to gameplay transitions. So this is just like God of War. If you guys have played God of War on PlayStation, it is seamless. Like, the cutscenes just go straight into gameplay. It looks awesome. Like, you don't have to worry about watching a cutscene, then sitting through a loading screen, then actually getting to play the game. So I think that's really neat. That's really immersive, and it makes video games a lot more cooler. It's like not having to worry about cutscenes and stuff is really neat. So I really like that feature. And then they went and they asked about customization options and stuff for lightsabers and outfits and stuff. And then the developer said that part of the pre-order bonus will be parts of the lightsabers. They're completely aesthetic. They don't change how they function, but it's cool because lightsabers have 3 or 4 major components to them, and you can find several different pieces along the way. And the combinations that you can get are astronomical at that point. Then he went on to say ponchos are something we can also have as different aesthetic options. And then Game Informer asked, can you change the lightsaber collars? Can you make it red? Yes, you will be able to change the collar, though there are collars Lucasfilm won't let us touch. Odds are they probably won't let you make it red, because that would make sense if you're a good guy and you have a red lightsaber. But I would imagine you're not going to see any like pinks or purples or yellows or anything crazy, but you can probably make it blue or green. But yeah, I think that's pretty neat too. Then they went to go on and asked about the reward system, like is there a currency and stuff, like because you can scan stuff with your robot in this game, and he went to say that BD can scan enemies and it will build up logs and databank entries. Pretty much all the information in there is just extra information for Star Wars fans and for creating an encyclopedia within the game. Anything we're introducing that's new or anything that's old that people might have forgotten about, the databank will educate on that. And then they went to ask, do you get currency for scanning? And he said, potentially we're looking at ways to reward players for getting more scans. We have it hooked up so that it can operate as currency. We just don't know exactly what we're going to tie into terms for rewards. So, I mean, that's kind of neat. You can just go around scanning stuff if you want to know extra lore, find out tidbits of Star Wars backlogs and stuff. I would imagine, like, let's say when you're on Kashyyyk and you go into the cave and you see some like old droids or old clone armor, you could probably scan those and get some information about the Clone Wars and stuff. So I'm okay with that. I think that's pretty cool. It gives you a reason to explore the environment. And then last up we have, will you be stuck tracking down the final 1% of secrets at the end of the game? And they said that we'd rather have it say you have 99% of this region, go explore this subset of the map. Don't explore the whole galaxy for 1%, because 99% of the map would be dead, and it's going to be a dull experience. If we give the player a smaller area and we don't plan on telling them exactly where they need to go, we won't say, the secret is right here, but if we need to shrink it down to kind of a smaller, digestible region to explore, that's what we're going for. So you don't have to worry about getting every single collectible and having to search through every single map, little inch by inch, to try to find that last piece to 100% the game. They will actually show you on the mini map, like, hey, this region you got everything, this region you didn't find everything. So I think that's pretty neat as well. Some games I like to 100%, but if they make it too tedious and it's too time consuming, like collecting all the feathers in Assassin's Creed or whatever, and they don't tell you where they are, then that's just annoying and there's no reason to do that. But if they tell me, hey, go to this region, you'll find a collectible, then I'm going to be more likely to collect all of them. So I think that's cool. Overall, I think this game sounds interesting. I mean, they made the Titanfall 2 campaign. I really enjoyed Titanfall 2's story. It was just a little too short, but that game also had multiplayer. He also said in his interview, somebody asked him like, how long is the game? And he doesn't know for sure now. He said that it is longer than people think that it's going to be, so I guess that's a good sign. I just don't want to beat it in like a day or two. I want it to be comparable to like PlayStation Spider-Man or God of War or something to that extent, where I can sit down, take me like a week to beat it, and then maybe go back and play it on a harder difficulty, unlock different lightsaber collars and stuff. I like the direction that they're taking this. I like that they've listened to feedback so far. I like the different lightsaber collars and stuff that you can do. I like that you can change your appearance. You have different force abilities. You can explore different planets. I think all that sounds great. I mean, my only problem so far is the dismemberment, but I mean, I can look past that if the rest of the game is good, which is what it sounds like it's going to be. So fingers crossed that we actually get a good single-player Star Wars game. So if you guys learned something new, please give this video a thumbs up. Check out another video. Follow me on Twitch at SwannyPlaysGamesLive, and then hit that subscribe button for all your Battlefront 2 and Fallen Order news updates. And that's going to do it for me, guys, and I will talk to you in the next video.
We would be honored if you would join us. You cannot resist